Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hand of Fate. Let's start again.
Another round, and our game truly begins.
So, we still haven't unlocked Endless mode, but we are further in story mode. At least it seems that way. I suppose you can't do the DLC, even though I unlocked a ton of it at the end of last time. I don't think you can actually do it until after you've done all of story mode, which then I suppose means I have to do this. So the next one is the Queen of Dust. So we've had the Jack of Dust, the Jack of Skulls, now the Queen of Dust. So we are going to have a curse in combat. The player's movement speed is reduced by how much gold they possess. Interesting curse. So that means I need to potentially spend as much gold as possible as soon as possible. Also, there's some kind of challenges to get 3 rock falls and 3 good fortunes. I kind of think I could figure out what good fortune is, but rockfall, I don't know. The bandit queen was taken by slavers as a child and raised in the desert. Over the years, she has bribed and murdered her way to her current position as second of command in the Desert Thieves, proving herself capable of ruthless cunning.
A bold woman, this one. She did not collapse when the Empire did. No, she took up arms, organized her people, and vowed that in a country where death had gathered, she would be the one dealing it.
Interesting. We still have a horrible, timing issue with the subtitles, which aren't on by default, but, I mean, that's not acceptable. The subtitles are just either really, really far ahead, several sentences ahead, or several sentences behind. So last time we only had 12 slots. Now we have 14. Let's go ahead and use the recommended setup and see what that is. So what we keep in our hand is down here at the bottom, which is kind of an interesting point. And so we have this one that's new, but anything new we don't know what it does until after the point. So if I wanted one of these maces, one of the maces I had had a holy blessing on it. Apparently I didn't get to keep that. We have the Angel's Wing. This was one thing we unlocked. And we have the Helm of Reflection. That's the thing we unlocked. And more we're filling up our collection up here. And I imagine this is going to get really large. I don't understand why we have 3 different kinds of axes, though. Seems kind of pointless. Seems like you should be able to sell or in some way get rid of the repetitive cards. We're not seeing any extra abilities on them or anything. So this was one that we saw in the game but didn't buy, and apparently now we know what it does. You can press right bump to throw knives in 8 directions. That's interesting. But anything new? Ring of Survival. We get the Ring of Survival, we lost the Dragon Ring. So what you purchase in shops is temporary. What you have on you is based on what you unlock through the coins. So this is the extra DLC Fates that you could play as. We're not going to change it yet. And let's see what's new here. They're suggesting take Devil's Wager out. Let's include local peasant, the Crucible, bandit attack, the Death Knight, Death King Hall, Goblin King's Halls 1, Innocent, what is that? Innocent Arrival, Indecent Arrival, the Queen of Dust will be new, of course. So, since there's so many of these that we have seen, like we've seen the Maiden, we've seen Mr. Lionel, we've seen the Twisted Canyon. Those three in particular are like, why are they locked? I don't get why they're locked. So I could certainly take out some of these cards and instead put in these cards, but there's no reason to. They seem like they're good cards. Oh, they're locked because you probably can't get rid of them.
Some cards are locked and cannot be removed from your deck.
Ah. Okay, that makes sense. Because then you could otherwise take out the Queen of Dust and not actually play the game. That also kind of says that for sure this story mode stuff is going to have you run into all of these actions over and over again. And we may very well not even see some of these other cards. So I'm starting to figure this out. In fact, I think I've figured out.
Now we play for the cup.
Majority
First of my symbols.
So he put 3 Rockfall cards in his deck. So I don't know if the challenges actually get all 3 of those.
I've added some cards to spice up the game.
Or if that's...
In addition to the pain and gain decks, there are now blessings and curses. Choose your steps carefully.
So there's a pain deck, a gain deck. That's cool. So where are we on our setup? Rusty Axe, Light Armor, and Moneybags Curse. And no upgrades. So we need to get rid of our money as fast as possible, or get a blessing. Because I don't think I can just de-equip it or anything. I would need a blessing to get rid of the curse. Maybe it's all 3 of them. Maybe you can't get rid of curses at all. Guess we should just move forward. Now, twice we've done this and gotten the weapon. Certainly makes sense to do it again. Climb down, get it. Still good success chances. Very carefully, we make our way down. We draw an equipment card. That has to be a sword. Frostfang. Now the question is, all those other equipment cards that got drawn, are they discarded? We're going to have to watch the animation. Or are they put back in the deck? So, absolutely, we want to equip it.
As pleases you.
And they are discarded, according to the animation there. That's not great. Let's move this way.
You might think the world of the cards is grim. Yet, even in the darkness, there is light to be found.
It's the maiden again. So she's gonna ask... I'm gonna ask for gold. Because...
A little gold to give you a taste for it.
That's a massive amount of gold now. I'm gonna be really, really slow. I suppose I might as well walk here.
Were you hoping this was the end? No. Another floor awaits.
Now I see no reason to not check what this is. The landlocked lubber.
Again, a token is at stake.
The landlocked lubber opens with a creak, breaking the silence like a thunderclap in a tomb. So this was something that unlocked it at the end, and I felt like it was a DLC thing. Welcome, traveler. Before I can treat you with hospitality, I must ask you a very important question. Have you ever seen, heard, or God forbid, smelled a kraken? Explain that you've never seen a kraken. Okay. Consider yourself lucky. There's no more foul beast than a kraken. I'm Carlo. Welcome to the land of the locked lubber. After giving you some time to enjoy the warmth and some stale bread, Carlo approaches you. I've heard rumors of boats going missing from a small village port of Norwich. No survivors, no witnesses. Norwich port is run by bandits, thieves, and smugglers. There's no way to know what's really happening there. Perhaps you could look around and find out more. I would go, of course, but I have this place to look after. Carlo gestures to the empty, damp-ridden flea hole that he calls home. This card's token is now yours.
Take the token. It is yours.
And see, I think that token specifically is going to move us down along this story path to unlock more cards.
One more step down, and we may see the end of this, or another set of stairs.
At some point, I'm gonna have to check and see if you can actually just leave. Go the way you
This
came.
game is still only beginning. New rules, new tools, new abilities. We have far to go as yet.
Let's just go here. Call for the priest. Interesting. In the shabby grove off the beaten trail, you find yourself a traveling merchant looking to trade for wandering adventurers. Approach the shop. Yes. Greetings, wise traveler. I have much to offer you. This is exactly what I wanted. With a massive 80 amount of gold. I wonder if it's possible that you would... how much is it to remove a curse? 300. Ooh. I just wonder if it's possible to actually run into a fight when you think you're actually going to a shop. Maybe, maybe not. This guy doesn't have items. He only has blessings. Let's see. Any hit on the player burning during combat has the chance to poison the attacker. The player inflicts triple damage against foes who are stunned. Any kill made using the axe grants the player 3 health. Interesting. Chance to poison the attacker. I think I may already have. I think we'll buy Critical Strike.
Blessings will remain always active and are never removed. Unless you die, of course. Then you're back where you began, as always.
So I can't heal wounds. And food. I can buy 1 food. And so now we've got the stack of a blessing and a curse. And we've, I think, used it to our best advantage here. I really wanted to spend 80 on equipment, but I think the game wants to teach me something different. Obviously. So let's move forward. The White Council 1, which means there's probably a White Council 2, maybe all the way up to 13.
As you plunder the secrets of your memories, you'll gain new cards. Some you'll wish you'd left untouched.
See, and that hints at the card game being some kind of judgment of your life, and you're in the afterlife, which is, I think, what he already said. As dusk settles, you arrive at a small village known as the Lesser Dimsgate. The locals are gathered at a shabby-looking inn. Something must be done, shouts a voice raised in anger. Ignore the plight or offer help. They took all our gold and food. One peasant wails. Will nobody stand up to them? I'll offer help. They went that way, not an hour ago. You can easily catch up with the band of ruffians. They seem overly confident and are in no rush. As you approach, the one who seems to be their leader notices you. Kill him, he commands, gesturing towards you. He looks like a troublemaker. The dealer draws you 2 monster cards. Alright, so 2 of dust plus 2 of dust, not too bad, but if that was like a Queen of Dust and Queen of Dust, or like a 10 of dust, 10 of dust, that could be an issue. All I have is a weapon and
now we begin
else
to raise the stakes. The arena itself will fight against you. Beware of my traps.
So we now have this weapon ability. Now I need to actually roll out of the way if they're about to attack, because I don't have a shield. That wasn't perfect, but pretty good. You gather the stolen supplies and return them to the village. These bandits will trouble you no longer. Oh, they weren't bandits, a child explains. They worked for the White Council. It was our turn to give tribute. The card's token is now yours. Darn it. So now I'm into some giant council's bad list. I was not burdened by my gold there, since I only have 1 gold. Ooh, a helpful priest.
Gods, and eternal damnations. I have no truck with any of it. Let us stake a token on their foolishness.
You meet a wandering priest who greets you in a friendly manner. So this is interesting. Every time he's going to put a token out there, it's this temptation to be distrustful. It's like, oh, is he saying the priest is going to do something that you don't expect and be conniving? And except for the devil's wager, it seems like everybody else has been pretty honest. So I think we'll just continue to believe in and have faith in the characters we meet. So, for a small share of your provisions, I will bless your name of the old gods. Sure. So, a huge success versus success. There's no even miss here. It's just, can you get that huge success? And no, I can't. Oh well. You give priest half your food. He says a few words in the language of the old religion and gently touches your forehead. It is done. Draw 1 blessing cards. The card's token is now yours. I wanted the...
useful.
Whenever the player eats food, they gain twice the usual healing for a high constitution. I wanted the token more than I wanted anything else there. So I'm almost seeing a replayability here where you just go back and play the story again.
Every step you take consumes food, but you will also heal as you proceed.
I did not realize that's how it worked. We know Mr. Lionel. I'm just gonna always ask him what he needs. And he's gonna give me a shield. A nice shield. That's good, because I need one. And now we hitch a ride.
It's better than trudging along a muddy road. Certainly.
Interesting. I would have sworn that was just going to be stairs. You found a friendly trader willing to let you ride on his wagon. You have discovered an exit to this area. Hitch a ride. You embark on the next leg of the adventure.
You are close on her trail, and more confident than I had imagined. Perhaps you will play beyond this mark, and we will see your true mettle.
So this is interesting because I'll have to go in like a full circle. Rockfall.
A terrifying walk to get to the Queen. So many potential places for an assailant to get the upper hand.
Attempt to dodge the rocks. While journeying near the coast, you hear a rumble overhead. Falling rocks force you to take cover. Ooh. So success is only one.
A choice. Select your desire.
And I assume huge failure is going to do a lot of damage or kill me. That was lucky. You dodged the rock by bucking into a small cave. A few minutes later, you emerge to climb around the new rock fall. You hear a voice somewhere above you say, "Did I hit him?" Let's see, run up and attack the bandits, sure. 2 monster cards. 4 of dust, 2 of dust. See, that's where we're going to start running into a lot of people. At least I have a shield now. Apparently the cooldown on my ability is kind of long. It seems like I could use it right at the beginning and a second time at the end. Draw 2 equipment. You loot the bodies. So now medium armor.
Middle of the road in every way.
Yep, I will take that. And all
Poison.
weapons.
It's the tool of the traitor.
All weapons attacks are enhanced with a powerful poison.
Artifacts provide powerful special abilities to use in combat, but it takes time to ready them.
So let's move forward. Hopefully it's not another rock fall. Traveling healer. In a shady grove off the beaten trail, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade for a wandering adventure. So let's look in the shop because I may be able to sell something. Otherwise, that's going to be pretty much useless. I'm doing good on everything except for food. So unless there was something I could sell, I don't think I can even buy food. Yep. And how much would it have been to remove this course? 400 now. So not a thing is possible. Now the question then becomes, are the cards magically changing because this is a video game? So I will always run into the queen as the last card, or is she just in the top right corner?
Again, the stones tumble upon you.
Attempt to dodge the rocks again. Hopefully huge failure. Doesn't happen. Man, am I lucky. Run up and attack the bandits. There we go. I've always been somewhat lucky, in my mind at least. I'm probably exactly average as everyone else is. So now if I want to use the artifact, I have to right bump it. Artifact is now attached. So I'm cursing them like crazy. So that looks like I've got more than enough of a combination to really kick some butt. Explorer has helmet.
An item that tells you how to move quickly, but tempts you to take your time.
And that was my only helmet, so I'll keep that on. After every third combat, the player receives plus 20 health. So we now know that this is the final one. So yeah, it can't possibly be changing magically, because then the explorer's helmet wouldn't.
Your provisions are running low. Can you press on?
Let's do something, because I'm not sure what happens when I lose all my food, and I'm not willing to blow this entire effort just because of that. So let's see if we can sell something. Medium armor for 5 and the helmet for 7. Let's sell the helmet and sell, and then how much food can we get for 11? Yeah, sell the ring and then gain 3 food. Nothing new happens there. Let's go this way. Bandit attack.
Our bandits are displeased with your challenges.
Group of bandits suddenly attack. The King of Dust isn't happy about you killing his men. The dealer draws 1 monster card. So obviously this would have been the easier path. We're inside some kind of, like, wow, how are they far away? Easy fight. I feel very overpowered here. I'm just hoping I can get like maybe one bit of food. That's all I really need. Let's see, if I lose one for the next step, one for the next step, and one for the next step, that would be exactly on 0. But I gained some food, so that's fine. Now we're fine. I also kind of wonder if the game knows that and will help us along a little bit if we start getting low on food. Goblin King's Halls 1. See, I thought these were DLC things, but they're just encounter things. I think they are DLC encounters, it's just it's always gonna be in the game, which is fine.
I will happily wager on the outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
I think, well, I can't make a full second recommendation until I've played the whole game. I think it probably looks like a great idea if you are going to play this game to get the DLC from day one. I think that will just give you a more varied experience and better overall gameplay through the story. One night as you lie in the forest clearing, you're disturbed by the sight of shadow or figure watching from the darkness. Ask him, "Well met," the goblin exclaims, stepping into the light and sitting by the fire. "Just armed warrior I've been seeking." Ask him to elaborate. "Yeah, let's be nice. Why would we be rude?" The goblin makes himself comfortable. "My name is Mr. Lionel, and I have a tale of woe to share. We already know Mr. Lionel. And perhaps an opportunity for you to make a tidy profit from my misfortune." He goes on to tell the story of his troubles with the king of the goblins while lamenting his subsequent banishment from the goblin community. The king could have shown leniency, he concludes, given that his daughter and I were both drunk from the excellent Dulcin brandy served at his coronation. Instead, he opted to make his first official act my banishment. The fool will regret it, though. For now, it is a time for revenge, he says eagerly, taking out a strange amulet. For hundreds of years, the Goblin Kings have gathered treasure and hoarded it into a series of enchanted and ever-changing treasure vaults. Only the Goblin King himself knows where the treasure vaults are hidden, but now I have a way to find them. I just need a lock of elven hair to complete this magical device. So, elven hair. Let's accept the task. Excellent. Just get the hair by any means possible. Don't worry. I'll find you again once the quest is complete. The guard's token is now yours. With that, he returns to the shadows and sits down below a bush watching you.
Well done.
So, the next card in this will be just get that elven hair. Everything seems a little too straightforward on these encounters so far. It's not really hard to just be nice to everybody and it work out pretty much in your favor. So for the people that are immediately attacking you, then you just have to kill them. Dead King's Hall.
Greed. If it were not for greed, then who would play at this game?
Alright.
This token will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
You see an ancient ornate coffin in the main burial chamber. It may hold spectacular wealth, but it will surely be guarded. Draw 2 monster cards. Attempt to take them by surprise. So we have a huge success or huge failure, 50-50. What does a failure do? You are spotted as you approach and the creatures readily themselves for combat. Yeah, not a big failure. Maybe they'll be slightly enraged or something. So I kind of have to immediately freeze and attack. Here we go. skeleton goes flying. It would be a rather dull game if that was all there was to this game, is just fighting. I like that they keep it rather short and pretty rare that you actually fight, because that would not be super interesting. Although, with more polish and more work, it could be made into a good game. You loot the room, the dealer draws 3, gains cards. The card's token is now yours. And that's all I really want, is just...
A strong left arm is as important as a strong right arm, after all.
I'm not going to use that shield over my other one. It seems like you just want to get the tokens more than anything else.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
Upon reflecting a projectile, this helm creates a small force explosion. Alright. Since I sold my other helmet, that one immediately gets equipped. And we're on to the final battle. And we're really, really overpowered.
Noble causes turn to rotten enterprise. You may win this battle and send the Queen to her rightful end. Yet, what have you gained in the process?
So she's more lethal in battle and harder to kill than a regular bandit. If the blades are sharpened, she is frequently protected by a powerful crossbow.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
Keep an eye on any crossbow shooters, but I think I'm probably really well set, yeah? That's all? Just a 2 of dust? I gotta remember, she's gonna have undodgeable attacks, or, well, uncounterable attacks, so I've gotta roll out of them. Down? Oh. I have to come over here and kill this guy. Interesting. You would think something like this would just automatically stop working. So that was 14 damage I took there. But otherwise, not a real challenge. I don't think my helmet ever exploded.
Inevitable, I suppose. So often those who beat plowshare to sword die by the grim instruments of their industry. Still, she fought well and bravely, which is all I expect from my pawns and players.
So now we got the goblet. The goblet upgrades stronger counterattacks, increased stun, new starting gear, bandit strength, increased skeleton strength, increase and bandit throwing knives. So it seems like there are 3 things that get improved there if you use the goblet, but then the counterbalance there is the bandits and skeletons are going to be stronger too. So I imagine we'll use that. Having better starting equipment sounds like a better move.
You have earned the first of the symbols of my power and passed the first gate. There is no turning back now. Previously I was merciful, but now I cannot be. It is begun. I crafted each of these cards over the course of years. You have taken them from me in mere moments.
So, it does seem to always want to just notch up the tension every time. say it's like, now the real battle has begun. No, now the real battle has begun. They have to be careful not to turn into a power creep like Dragon Ball Z is, where every episode is a new bad boss. Well, not every episode, but every new boss is way more powerful than the last one. Your meeting with Carlo the Lamb at the land-locked lubber gains you this card, the Smuggler's Wharf. For helping the people of Lesser Dimsgate, you receive the White Council 2. That's unsurprising. Notice it's a locked card, so for dealing with the helpful priest, we receive 3 different kinds of cards. A gain card of 15 health, a healer's ring, and charity as an encounter card. For joining Mr. Lionel's quest, this card gains a token. The Maiden. Interesting. I already have the Maiden. Should I have 2 Maidens in my deck? Wouldn't be terrible. For exploring the Dead King's Hall, you receive a treasure chest. As a reward for defeating the Bandit Queen, you receive these cards. The Jack of the Plague, the Something in the Forest, Ambush in the Forest, I believe, the Fifth of Prophets, and the Battle at Brookridge. I cannot read these cards at all. We'll look at them next time. This is a new equipment card of Fleet Cuffs and Armor of Cult and a Mage Hammer.
Come, play again.
So, another adventure down. We're doing pretty good. This adventure, like the previous one, took about 45 minutes. Once they start getting a little bit longer, if it takes 45 minutes to get through 3 levels, I imagine if they start going to 4 or 5 levels, we'll get into an hour-long episodes, and then I'll break them in half so that we can try and approach closer to 30 minutes. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.